Hi guys, and welcome back to the Castlemilk Youth Complex podcast, the Milk Round. You'll see we're joined by a new guest this week, Kirsty. Kirsty's been on before, and another podcast about mental health, but she's on this week just to give us a wee hand and talk about another topic that we'll get to later on. If you're listening or watching just now, you're probably on our YouTube or our Podbean. Our YouTube, we bring it out every Thursday, our podcast, and we've got lots of different topics, lots of different episodes. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out for us just now. Leave a like on our videos and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. And if you're not on our YouTube and listening on Podbean, then that's great. If you can just share the link for us as well, that'd be good, trying to reach as much people as possible. If you want to get us on any other social medias, Chris will just give you a run through of them just now.
So I just hasten to say that the Podbean link is just really for older episodes now, Lee, so we're not at the stage yet where we're putting up weekly. So to get the latest episodes in the quickest amount of time, it would be stick with YouTube for the time being. But yeah, we're on Facebook, it's Kelly Youth Complex Staff. We're on Twitter, which is Youth Complex CYC. We're on Instagram, youth_complex. We're on TikTok, Kelly Youth Complex. If you want to send us a wee email, it's cycyouthteam@gmail.com. And our Podbean link is themilkround.podbean.com.
Brilliant. So last week we had a kind of shorter podcast. Well, we tried to keep it shorter. It still runs over, I think, every time we try that.
Yeah.
But it was on like kind of phase 3 of lockdown and what's happening and what we're allowed to do now and all that. So it was kind of lighter podcast last week. But if you enjoyed it, let us know in comments or give us a wee email or drop a message on our social medias. This week will be a wee...
In phase 3, there's a new milestone being achieved.
Right, okay.
New achievement, as they say. So we record the podcast the day before it comes out. So this is Wednesday, but for everyone else that's watching right now, it's Thursday. A new milestone has been achieved where beauticians can finally open, guys.
Right.
So I can finally get my eyebrows done, and Kirsty can finally get her moustache done.
I know, I've been bleaching for a while, to be fair.
There we go, happy days.
Get my hair done and get my eyebrows done, nails, everything. Loving it.
Brilliant. Happy days, that's good. So that was last week, what we ran through, kinda. Just first things first of this week, what have you guys been up to?
So I helped my mum buy a new car a few days ago. So I had to brave the car dealerships, especially Arnold Clark. Other car dealerships are available. So yeah, I've actually always went into Arnold Clark and never bought a car from them because basically I just don't have a very positive experience. So this guy was really special. He decided to tell me a big long diatribe about his visit to a car factory in Romania and how it all worked and stuff like that.
Diadem.
So I sometimes suffer from insomnia, so I was thinking about getting this guy in to just tell me a story at night.
Absolute sleeping
I don't know.
pill.
Anyway, we went somewhere else and we got a nice wee car for my mum. She's picking it up on Friday this week, so she's quite excited about that.
Most important question.
Yeah.
What colour is it?
Red.
Ooh,
nice.
Has she got a name for it yet?
She never calls her cars names. She's a pet owner, so she's got that outlet with the pets, I suppose. Do you know what I mean?
Is that a thing? Naming your cars?
Yeah.
I don't drive, so
it's a thing for Kirsty. I don't name.
It's a thing, Chris. Keep lying. It's a thing.
So what's your car's name?
This car is called Hugo.
Hugo, okay.
Hugo the Hyundai.
Is it always a male name you go for?
No. Like, you know how like ships are meant to be like females?
No, yep.
I thought cars are meant to be females, but the inside of this car looks a wee bit male. It's
okay.
Blue and stuff, and it's just like it's like navy and.
So it's a manual drive as well, I take it, yeah.
And if it looks like a male, I don't want to see the gear stick, Kirsty. But moving on. What have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing?
Yeah.
I've been able to meet up with a couple of my friends. So I met up with one of my pals that I've not seen for about 5 months, and we went for some coffee, and that was brilliant. It was really good, but I don't drink coffee. I had hot chocolate, but it was good. And it was a bit weird wearing like the masks inside the shops
Right.
and stuff like that. But if that's what we need to do so that I can see my pals and keep everybody safe, then I think it's definitely worth it.
Yep.
Do you have to put a wee straw hole in the mask when you're drinking your hot chocolate?
No, so that's what I was worried about. I was like, we're going to have to like sneak it, like, and I was like, well, we're going to go for something to eat. Like, how do you how do you do it? But when you're eating, you're allowed, like when you're sitting down to eat, or if you're sitting down to have a drink, you can drink, like you can take your mask off.
Yep.
But like when you're walking about, like in the shopping centre, you've got to have a mask on.
Right.
So it's a case of, as Mr. Miyagi would say, it's mask on, mask off. It's just tying into last week's podcast. So you don't think too badly of me. Come on.
I seen talking about like straws and that, and straw holes in your mask. I seen a brilliant video for two girls that wore those glasses that have got the straws on them.
Oh yeah.
You put a straw in your glass or your can or whatever, then you can just slide it, because it comes in from the side. You can just slide it in behind your mask. Or you've got the helmets as well that have the two beer cans. You could do that as well. So endless possibilities, I suppose.
Feels as if this might be a challenge.
Aye, who can come up with the best contraption to hide your straw?
Never mind your Easter bonnet competition.
No,
the drinking hat.
Yeah.
So that's been a good week for you then, because phase 3's came in. You're allowed to go and see friends and that. Aye, that's decent. I was the same as you. I kind of seen more people, but I decided to go out. I was saying in another podcast that I got a bike during lockdown.
You're a bike guy?
Aye, I'm a
bike guy.
Aye, so I might name my bike now that you've told me that
you
people name
should.
vehicles. Aye,
it's blue, isn't it?
It's blue. Aye.
Okay.
But
does it have a make?
Transfer, I think it is.
Other makes are available.
Aye, they are. Aye, but he's going into the shop tomorrow. Terry.
Aye, Terry the transfer.
Terry the transfer. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
No, not
think about it.
Terry, no.
We'll come up with it for next week. We'll maybe make that a competition.
Yes.
Aye. Name Lee's bike. But he's gone into the shop tomorrow because we decided that we were going to do a big cycle out to the town, and Brooks did a bit of sewing, as I said in our podcast, so she was going out to get some material. So we've cycled all the way out of the town. My bike was making a funny noise, and I'd looked down and I'd checked like the brakes and all that. Wasn't the brakes. Then a wee bit further, we done like the what?
It was just your heavy breathing.
What is that?
Somebody get you in here.
And I looked in, and the back wheel was kind of unaligned, so it was like rubbing against the frame that full time. So it sounded like now when you were a wee guy and you put like a card in or like a milk carton in the back of your wheels,
yes.
you go,
yeah.
And you thought you were in a chopper or something. Mm-hmm. That's what it sounded like full way. So I'm like, might have looked like a big kid, but then it fully buckled on the way back home, and I had to drag it like 2k to Brooks Auntie's to leave it for the night. So I taking it into the shop tomorrow.
Maybe you should have called your bike Shanna.
It is an absolute Shanna. I'm not looking forward to how much they'll charge me to get it fixed tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see how much it is. So it's a write-off for now, but that's my week. So the next part of our podcast is the favourite, and Kirsty, you've done this before, so you should be prepared for it. It's the big section that everyone loves. It is what's on my telly and what's in my belly. So do you remember what you said last time, Kirsty, when you were on?
I think I was watching Normal People.
I think it was, eh?
And I can't remember.
We're baking a lot, I think that's what it was.
I was baking, yes, that's what it is.
So have you got something new for us this week? So what's on your telly this week?
So what's been on my telly is I've been watching on iPlayer, you know, the old DIY SOSs?
Aye.
Oh, And then there's like the big builds, and you're pure greeting watching the morning.
Emotional, aye.
Oh, aye. I've been watching them thinking that I'm pure gonna like be able to like revamp my house, but that's never gonna happen. But aye.
No, really nice these shows because like there's a pure community spirit about it as well. Like,
And people come for like oil. Like, so there was one I was watching yesterday that they were up and it was like the Highlands, and they couldn't get there because the house was at the top of a hill, and
Right.
it was snowing, and I was like, oh my god, like, are they going to make it? And I was like, I was packing a bag, going to go there, but it was like 3 years old, so it's fine. So, and then people were just like taking weeks off work to go and help them, and
Yeah.
and it was just dead nice.
Aye, it's awesome. I really like it, and it's Nick Knowles in it.
Yes.
I quite like him a lot. I
Aye.
think he's like Marmite with the British public, but
Aye,
I quite like him. I liked him on I'm a Celebrity in that, and he does that National Lottery Who Dares Wins as well, and he's alright on that. So
Aye.
he's decent. Aye, so that's what's on your telly. So what would you rate that out of 10?
I'd say it's definitely a strong 10 with a tissue.
10?
Because you'd be crying.
10?
10? 100%.
Cool.
Aye.
I don't think we've had a 10 on here.
No, we've not.
Mate,
No.
I've been on before.
We'll edit that part out later.
Nice. They're hoping this is going to be a short one this week, aren't they?
So, will we just go round what's on our telly?
Yeah, let's do that, I think.
Right, okay, will I go next then?
Why not?
So I've been watching a reality show, and I don't usually watch things like X Factor or Britain's Got Talent or anything like that, but I watch this show every year, and it's The Voice Kids. I watch it because they are really, really talented for their age. I think you can enter up until you're 14 years old, and there's like 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds going on, like 10-year-olds who are choir singers and all that, 12-year-olds playing guitar, and just so talented, and that's quite emotional as well. I'd say you watch some of them, and some of their stories are brilliant. I've really been enjoying that, and the judges are alright as well. I know it won't be everybody's cup of tea. It's like will.i.am, I think he's hilarious on it. Danny Jones for McFly, he's on it. Paloma Faith, who's a bit of a crackpot, and then Pixie Lott, who's quite intense, but she's alright as well. But it's just watched the second episode there. I don't know how many episodes it'll be, but they only need to get 9 from the blind editions, so I think they're all at about 3 or 4. So there's maybe another couple of blind editions shows, and then it'll get into like the kind of, I think it's like a versus mode they do. So the kids battle against each other, not actually fighting physical. They're still singing, so they're. But
it's the Maz and Daz that are fighting.
My Chantel's better than your John.
my Wayne, I'm telling you.
But I'd give that a 7.5 because it's like easy watching as well.
Yeah.
But really enjoying that. So Chris, what's in your telly?
So I've been saving this one on purpose because season 2 is due to drop on Netflix on Friday the 31st, so that's next Friday. So what's on my telly this week is The Umbrella Academy.
Right.
It's about a dysfunctional family of adopted sibling superheroes who reunite to solve the mystery of their father's death and the threat of an impending apocalypse. There's loads of action in it. A lot of dark humour, kind of like a dark humour version of, like Marvel humour, where they're in the thick of action and they crack a wee joke here.
Aye.
But it's a wee bit darker as well than say Marvel. It is a 15, so it's not going to be recommended to all our younger members, but it's a really good watch. And I suppose if you kept yourself to maybe an episode a day between now and then, you'd be ready right into season 2 to drop on Netflix next week. So
I'm
that's
on
my recommendation.
Episode DIY SOS, so that might be a good one. That might be a recommendation.
I thought there would be literally about 2,000 episodes of that or something on the BBC.
No, they don't have that many on iPlayer, which I'm
okay.
quite upset about.
What's Umbrella Academy available on, Chris?
It's on Netflix, and I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah. The guy from Misfits is in that, isn't he?
He is, yeah. It's
Aye.
a kind of Irish guy in Misfits, but he's
I love
he's
him.
American in this one. He's American
Right,
in
okay.
this one. He's done quite well. He's in quite a lot of films. I've seen him in various.
Quite a few people
bits and
from
pieces.
Misfits has like made it quite big.
Yeah, because the other guy
Like
went on to be Ramsay
Owen or-
Bolton in Game of Thrones and stuff like that.
Ewan Rion.
Yeah, the
No,
Welsh
aye,
boy.
Rion,
He's good value. So yeah.
And then, well, there's another girl from Misfits. I don't know if you know about this story, but Lauren Socha, the kind of chavvy girl in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the one that looks like her out of 2 pints.
Does she? I don't know.
Like blonde, straight back hair.
Aye.
Yeah.
Her brother's quite successful as well as an actor. He's in, I think it's Stardust. He's in Spike Island, and he's in a couple of music videos as well. Jake Bug music video and another one. Who is it? It's a Kasabian music video, but she isn't very successful now because she had a run-in with the law.
Oh.
Aye. So a lot of them come out of Misfits doing well, but a lot of them come out still in character, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go back.
You know what they call that hairstyle? It was my wife taught me this one. The Croydon facelift. So it goes,
Aye.
you know.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
He's like surprised all the time.
Aye.
Right, so that's what's on our telly. So hopefully you guys can take some recommendations for that. So now we move on to what's in my belly. So Kirsty, what is in your belly this week?
So, went to Costco. Got muffins. That's squishy cream. Amazing.
Is that it?
That's it. That's as simple as that.
Simple as that. Right, okay. What kind of muffins?
So we got a mixture. So we
Cool.
got was it double chocolate chip, absolute bad boys that are like the size of a head. And then there was like a lemon and poppy seed one. Oh, it was dynamite.
You sounded
Sometimes I don't like.
You have this for this week. You're like, there was double chocolate chip or something like that, and lemon.
No, I couldn't remember if it was like double or like triple.
Oh right, okay.
It's like another chocolate. It's like chocolate and chocolate and chocolate.
Aye.
And chocolate. Well, we bit of chocolate babe.
How much are they? Are they quite dear, but for Costco?
You get like 6 in a pack, and they're about a £5, I think.
Right. And have you tested like muffins for other supermarkets?
Yes.
And
I feel as if it's a community service that I've been doing to test all muffins going.
Right.
They are better than the Greg's chocolate muffins.
Right.
100% better, and they're massive.
Okay.
They're better than Asda's ones. Morrison's is
Up there.
fighting it, but then again, Costco's is bigger.
So anyway, what's in my belly? So this week I decided to try and make something that I'd never made before. You're right, Kirsty. I decided to try and make quesadillas.
Nice.
Aye, wee bit of Mexican food. So I done like my mince. A lot of people have different fillings for it because you can get vegetarian, vegan. You can get obviously meat-filled ones, and I went for like a spicy mince. Obviously, in Mexican cooking, there's a lot of rice and stuff that gets put in. I didn't use any rice in mine. I just went for a spicy mince, which was like some passata, then like chili puree and things like that, and different spices added into it. Cooked that, and then I got a wrap. I done it totally wrong, so I did. So I know for next time it's going to be better. But I put a wrap, I buttered one side of the wrap, and put that into the pan. Then spread my mince out over it and my cheese and things like that, so it would all melt. Then put my other wrap on top. So then when I thought the bottom wrap was ready and crispy enough, I decided to try and flip it, but it wasn't ready and crispy enough. It all fell apart, and I had packed it too much, I think. So it ended up just being like a kind of crispy wrap, mince, cheesy.
Did you do they put the plate over the...
This is what Brooke told me after it. She said that would have been a good idea, but
Do you want a wee cheat, Lee? It might not look kind of circular, but all you do is you put your filling on only half of the tortilla and just fold it over and then flip it. It's a lot easier to deal with. It's maybe not technically like the authentic quesadilla, but the method Kirsty mentioned there about the plate would probably have worked well as well.
Because I think they usually cut it into triangles in, like
Yeah.
with the traditional one, don't they? But I just kind of had the mess on my plate. But it was really tasty. That's a good thing. That's the main thing, I suppose, isn't it?
That is the main thing.
Quesadillas. We usually say ask for recipes and all that, but I don't think ask me for a recipe just yet. Maybe wait a couple of weeks and see if I've mastered that technique before asking.
Maybe you should do a wee video. Teach
Aye.
us how to do it.
Oh, I don't know how to do it. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, but that's the funny part.
He's going to need to
I'll try.
practice.
I can practice. So that's what's in my belly this week. So what about you, Chris? What's in your belly?
So, you get these wee kind of like it's the Maggie kind of so juicy bags, and it's like you normally put chicken in them or something like that, and then a spice mixture, and tie the bag up and put it in the oven, and the bag just quite inflates, and then you bring it out, and it's quite nice. So I've had one of them before, and I had the butter chicken, and it was really nice. So we tried this, but this has blown everything else out the water. It was a sweet chili halloumi bake. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried a bit of halloumi before, Lee.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's just, halloumi is probably about the only meat substitute, I would say, that would be viable for me. See, if I was going to go vegetarian. Now, I know it's probably halloumi isn't technically strictly vegetarian because it's made a combination of goat's milk and sheep's or cow's milk, I believe. But this, I've had halloumi before, which is awesome anyway, but this blew it out the water. You just cut the halloumi up, peppers and onions in the bag, seasoning mix, chuck it in the oven. Honestly, amazing stuff. So you can buy these wee bags in most of the supermarkets, 50p. You can pick up a piece of halloumi for round about the £2 mark. You're going to need maybe 2 of them to. I put 3 of them in for this one if you're feeling really kind of. But when you figure what you would spend on a packet of meat, then it's roughly comparable.
Right.
But I would say even more tasty. Try it out. Have it with some rice. Or potatoes, or I would say rice, but I had it with like kind of one of these kind of microwave Middle Eastern grain things, which is a mixture of different grains like bulgur wheat, quinoa, and all that sort of stuff, and that went really well with it. So, but honestly, give this a shot. 50p well spent on that spice mix.
You might need to try that as well.
It is awesome. I know it's not quite this week a kind of done from scratch thing, but I couldn't ignore that one this week. It was just too good.
There we go. So you don't really need a recipe for any of those because I don't think you need a recipe for yours, Kirsty, do you? Is there a technique?
When there is a technique, see when you're squishing the squishy cream, you need to put it in your mouth.
Right, okay. That's a must. It's a given. Or it doesn't work.
No, see if you don't, it doesn't taste as good.
Right, okay. Makes sense.
Who would have known?
So we've not got any recipes for you guys this week, but if you want to check out the other videos and you fancy eating anything that we've been making, give us a shout for the recipes. Or if you want to like put in your own recipe for us to share, just let us know. Give us a comment or a message or something like that. Brilliant. So that's that section done this week. And now we're going to go on to the topic. So we didn't really have a topic last week, Chris. We kind of just spoke about phase 3 being like a nice news, and we kind of spoke about what's happening, and you told us what the kind of lockdown restrictions and what was listened in that last week. But this week we've decided to come up with a topic, and that's why we've brought Kirsty on as well, because Kirsty was quite interested in this topic when we were planning the podcast. And it's going to be social media. And what we're going to talk about social media this week is its pros and its cons. We all know social media can be a great thing, but it can also be used in a negative way quite a lot of times. So we're just going to kind of chat about it. If you do have any questions that we miss, or you're looking for advice or information on social media, give us a message after this, or comment in our comment section on YouTube or down below on Facebook or anything like that. So social media, what's your guys' favourite social media? What do you go to all the time?
I'm a big fan of Instagram.
Right, okay.
But then TikTok's a thing now as well. That's
So for viewers and listeners who might not know what Instagram is, I know it's quite big now, but we might have people who have never tried it out. Do you want to give them a wee kind of...
So it's just like you post a picture with a wee caption under it, but you can also put pictures and short videos on, and you can get like a story as well. So I know lots of social media is kind of having that now. So it's a kind of similar to like Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. They've all kind of got like a story element to it. So it's not there on your grid, which all your pictures are. You normally click on the profile, the face of the person, and then it comes up that way. I do enjoy a wee bit of Instagram. So
Why do you like that so much, Jenna?
I like the quizzes and stuff like that. You know, like when you're flicking through people's stories, and it's just like, oh, should I wear this outfit or that outfit? And I'm like, that one. Or who do you prefer, like Leonardo DiCaprio or like Ben Stiller? And I'm like, Leonardo DiCaprio all day long.
Right, okay.
And it's pure good. Like you can just do things like that. I do enjoy a wee filter.
Mm-hmm.
A filter, like, I do like that.
So that's the good things. That's the stuff that you like. But I use Instagram. I don't know about you, Chris. Do you use Instagram?
I do have an Instagram, but I don't really use it. I'll maybe check it once a month, maybe, or something like that. So no, not really.
And there's a messaging service on Instagram as well, isn't there? There's a direct message part of it. So like there is many benefits to it. It's good to see and good to share your photos and where you've been. Like a lot of people use it for like kind of tourist blogs or like food blogs or things like that, don't they? So there is a lot of great things that come from it. But obviously, we are talking about pros and cons. Is there any cons to Instagram, do you think, Kirsty?
Oh, definitely. A new feature that's been changed on Instagram. I don't know if it's changed on Facebook, but basically there's a big pressure on getting likes and how many likes have you got in your pictures and things like that. So like say Lee's get more likes than Chris, and there's a big kind of rivalry that way, and then Chris will be like, well, I'm going to take my picture down because I don't have so many likes and things like that. And it ends up people taking pictures down, feeling a wee bit shit about themselves, or that they've been kind of adding people or following people just so that there's another person to like their picture when they don't know that person. They're giving away details. So they could be taking a picture of them going to school. You've just told everybody where you are from 9 till 3 every day, basically. You've just told them where you're going to be. And they could follow you home and they could see where your house is or anything like that. So you need to be careful who you add and who you follow and things like that. And I think that's the same on all social media. But what Instagram's done is instead of it saying like Lee liked your picture and 29 others, it would say Lee and others.
Right, okay.
So it doesn't say the number, how many people liked your picture.
So you think that's quite a good feature then?
Oh, definitely. Because I get 2 likes on a picture or something like that, and it's my 2 bills. And that's it. And I would never have thought about like taking a picture down or anything like that, but I remember chatting to my young people about it in my youth work class, and they were saying there's a big pressure about if a picture has been on for a certain length of time and they feel as if it's not reached as many likes as what one they did last week, they'll take it down.
Yeah.
And there's a huge pressure there.
Aye.
I do feel that there's lots of kind of people that try and make themselves look glamorous and almost have like a false reality of life as well, when I think that could be quite dangerous. Like you're creating a wee fantasy there, and it's all just for show, when really it should just be that you're enjoying yourself and you're having fun or you're making memories. So I say that's the kind of downside to it.
It's not always that person's fault, I suppose. Like you says, there's a lot of pressure, so the person that is maybe putting up a false reality is going, I need to do this, because if I don't do this and I actually put up my everyday life, people are going to slag me, or I'm not going to get these likes that I need. It's kind of like a high score almost kind of thing, in it. Like,
Definitely.
That's good that Instagram have kind of taken the front foot and went, nah, we need to change this, because it's it affects a lot of people's mental health, I suppose, doesn't it? Social media, and probably especially Instagram. I think that's the main one that would affect mental health, just because it's based on looks, and you get a lot of influencers on it.
Yeah, so with all the influencers, I think it's quite good now that see if they're getting paid to be like, oh, like this pen, right? Like, oh, this pen is the best pen in the whole entire world. Everybody should go and get this pen. But then they have to say that it's an ad, that they're getting paid to say that.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're working in partnership with that company rather than it just being like, that celebrity looks like that and they use that item. I want to be them. I want to be like them. I want my Instagram to be the same as them, and they go and copy them. Now they need to tell them that it's an ad, that they're not just saying it to be like, this is what I've always used.
Mm-hmm.
You'll maybe notice like lots of the girls for Love Island, they're all promoting the same makeup right now, and it's because that makeup brand is paying all of them because they know that they've got a high following.
Mm-hmm.
But now that there's an ad, you're like, it's not like a hack, it's not like it's a wee bit of information I never knew.
Yeah.
It's as if you've found out this great kind of secret. It's not a secret, they're getting paid.
Yeah. It's a really good way for companies to market, because they know that there's a lot of audience out there looking at these people's pictures, but it's good that that's becoming a thing as well now, that people do know it's an ad. Instead of it just being like, that person has it, I need to get it, kind of thing. Another thing about Instagram that I just found out before we started recording, my girlfriend was speaking about it because I was telling her we were doing social media tonight, and she says that when you first get an account on Instagram, your privacy settings are set to public, so anyone can see your page. So a wee bit of advice for anyone setting up an Instagram: check out your privacy settings. Not sure how that is over other social media platforms, but it's definitely good on Instagram.
I've noticed for other social media platforms that, see, when you do set it to private and then say, I've got an iPhone, so my iPhone updates, or if that specific app updates, your privacy settings go back to public again.
Right, okay.
As well, so just be aware that when you're updating your phone, and they're like, well, it's updating overnight or whatever like that, and it comes up with that wee notification, the next day just check your privacy settings.
So that's Instagram. It is a great platform, but do you want to maybe give a couple of wee bits of advice or some tips on young people who have maybe had an Instagram for years but don't use it, maybe had an Instagram for years and use it all the time but don't know enough about it, or people who are just setting up an Instagram?
So I would say that people's stories are brilliant, so you don't need to put everything up on your grid, which is great. What I would say is, though, that it's out there in the hub of like the internet, so it doesn't mean that just because it's on the story it's only out that day. Like, people can source your information from that, and if you put like maybe a provocative picture on your story, doesn't mean just because it's no longer on your story that day doesn't mean that it's no out there in like the web kind of. It's always good to get like a nice wee picture on Instagram, a nice wee scenic view or something like that. I went to the caravan with my pals and I got a pure belter at the beach, and I was like, yes, Insta worthy. And there's a wee bit in it where you can put highlights, and so you can save things for your story as well, and lots of people do that, where you can click on that and you can maybe go back to a certain concert that you were at, and you can click on that, like, oh my god, remember when we went to go and see this person? So I would think that's quite a good quality. But definitely don't add people that you don't know and that you've never met before. And be aware that when strangers are adding you, like, even if they've got your friends in common or other followers, or if they follow like your pals or whatever like that, if you don't know them, just don't add them. It's just a bit strange. Like, you wouldn't like come back for your holiday and show everybody your white bits, like, oh, look at my tan mark. So why like, I've just a random in the street, you wouldn't just go up to them and be like, oh, look at this, or kick about in your underwear in the street, but you'll put a picture up of you in your bikini. So why should a stranger be able to see that?
Yep. That's great advice for young people and even older people that might be struggling with social media?
Crystal, maybe a bikini out if you don't have it private.
So, Chris, that was Instagram. Like you said, you've not used it much, but what would be your favourite or your go-to social media platform?
Well, before I start, I want to confirm that I'm not wearing my bikini as we speak right now. So just to get that out of the way, because I don't know. I suppose this is technically a social media that we're showing our podcast. So YouTube. So I think for me, I started off in the dark old days when dinosaurs still roamed the earth on MySpace, and it was a shared band account that we had, and we used that to get gig bookings and stuff like that. So it was really useful from that. It had an embedded player on the front page where you could put your top 5 tracks up on the page. And I would say about 80% of our gig bookings came through MySpace at that point in the heyday, way back, as I said, when dinosaurs roamed the earth. And then all of a sudden, people started going away off to Facebook, and that became a thing. And I suppose this is maybe, Kirsty's already covered a lot of really useful information. I'm going to put that out there about, you know, the pressure to put an idealized lifestyle up and stuff like that. So I'm not going to touch on that again. But one of my personal experience was, see that MySpace that we built up, we put so much work into building that up and getting really visible. And we had something like 10,000 followers on it at the time. When people started to migrate over to Facebook, all of a sudden MySpace was redundant. So all of that work that we put in to build up that profile became redundant, and that was it. It was for nothing. And then we had to kind of restart with kind of Facebook. So I suppose the point I'm trying to make is social media platforms in some cases, maybe not so much these days, come and go, really. So you have to be careful about how much stock that you put into it and how much you base your own feelings around it if you get X amount of likes and stuff like that. Because the chances are maybe 10 years down the line, maybe something like Facebook might become redundant, because there's a lot of these like Instagram was one that came out, and all of a sudden that's maybe appealing to a certain age demographic. And I think, I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, but just don't put your stock into it, basically. So I've predominantly used Facebook, and I kind of half use it to keep in touch with friends and stuff like that you don't see every day or every week, and it's especially useful under the current circumstances. I still use it to promote any musical things that I'm doing. Facebook isn't as good as MySpace as in my opinion anyway, because with any organization that requires a like page, and Facebook, and that's one of the things I think Kirsty touched upon, Facebook are constantly changing the goalposts with regards to what you can and can't do with it, especially when it comes to promoting something like music or any other business. So for me to post, say, from our band like page, it tries to incentivize you into paying money in order for your post to become more visible to a wider audience. And in some cases it's worth it, and in some cases it's not. It's just you just have to make that decision yourself. But from a kind of personal point of view, it's really useful. There's lots of community groups and stuff like that I've signed up to, and it keeps you in touch with what's going on in your local community. It's like a kind of personalised, it is your personalised news feed in that respect, but with great power comes great responsibility, and you have to treat it with respect. You can't base your mental health around it because, oh my God, I've not got enough likes on that, or projecting this essentially an idealized impression of what your life is, and it might not actually be like that. So people go, oh, what, that guy, he seemed like he had a great life, what's going on with him, you know? And so there's drawbacks to everything, I suppose. And Facebook, like any other social media platform, I think I think they all have these same issues that get thrown up basically. So
Yeah.
Treat it with respect. Don't put all your stock into something like that, because
Yeah.
essentially picking up a phone, for example, and talking directly to somebody, I think is a lot more useful than commenting under a picture or a post, for example.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
I feel as if sometimes when I've not seen like some of my friends like for a while or whatever, I already know what they've been up to.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if it's like a relative that's been like living abroad and then they come back or whatever, I'm like, oh aye, like I seen that, and I seen that, and I seen that. Kind of makes you lazy rather than making that effort to either meet up with them or kind of as soon as somebody does come back for holiday, or let's catch up and hear all about it. Well, I've seen it, you've documented the full holiday. I knew what you had to eat in the first night, I knew that you had the shits in the second night, I knew in the third night you get sunburnt, and I knew your flight was delayed. Like, everything's documented, there's nothing a secret at all. And know that you should be keeping secrets, but it's just like what you got to talk about.
Everything needs to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. And like we have says, it's kind of like social media can be used for like blogs and things like that. But aye, it's no, people don't need a commentary of your life.
Yep.
Because you're always giving away information, like you says about Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't know who's on the other side of a keyboard and a screen.
Yep.
Picking up that information.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a wee statement, probably, especially for young people, because I was a young person on social media and I put up a lot of silly things that actually, going back through my social medias, I've deleted a lot of things. If now you get memories and things that come up, I've had a lot where I've deleted things because I've said the wrong thing, or I've copied a post that I thought was humour when I was younger and it's politically incorrect, or it's morally wrong or whatever. But I should just watch what you're putting up as well, because for future employment and education, that might come back to kind of bite in the arse. So
Definitely.
I remember a story, and it was a young person who had gained some sort of scholarship in a NASA program, so it was like a kind of fast track. So they were obviously a smart cookie and stuff like that. And a couple of months into this opportunity, whatever it was, they lost it because of a social media post that they put up a few years ago, maybe when they were, they probably weren't even, like, they were maybe 13 or something like that, 14 or something like that. But they have lost this fantastic opportunity for something silly that they've put up. So it is a cautionary tale.
That's the thing, like a lot of things on social media are never totally deleted from the internet.
I think a really good, something that we've used in the past in the youth complex is the old tube of toothpaste metaphor. And sometimes we actually do get a tube of toothpaste out and say, right, squeeze some of that toothpaste out. Now try and put it back in the thing. And you're saying, what do you mean? What's this relating to? Well, it's essentially the same if you put something on social media or online in any format. It's very difficult to put that toothpaste back in the tube once it's out there. So I think that's a really good way of looking at it, really.
Last couple of social medias I just want to touch on. My favourite, the one that I use every day, quite a lot daily, is Twitter. I think it's just brilliant, like for comedy value. There's so much great patter on it for Glaswegians and even Americans, and that are really funny on it. I'm like 15 in the heat still, so I like daft memes and all that. And I've just looked it up there, sorry, while we were talking. And the age to get a Twitter account, you have to be 13. And Twitter is really bad for hiding sensitive and graphic content. I've seen a lot of posts come up that aren't hidden. And if a 13-year-old can see that, and I know that they probably do it on your age that you've put in, but it's so easy to just say, I'm 18 when you're 13, or I'm 16 or 18. So that's a big downfall for Twitter for me. It's been hacked quite a lot recently, Twitter. So we seen last week that Joe Biden was promoting Bitcoin and like you put up a link, but obviously there was so many verified profiles on it, like Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Jeff Bezos was hacked as well. So these are like top people who have probably got the best security on their internet, best security on their social media profiles, who are being hacked by. Obviously, these people are geniuses because they can break through anything online, but that's something you've got to watch as well. So Twitter is great for things like just daft posts, and people don't really blog their lives as well, which is good. And like you were saying, Chris, it kind of becomes your news feed. I get a lot of my news from that, from Twitter, because I've got like a trending post. So it puts up like top stories, and I get a lot of sports news from it as well, which is quite good. But there is some things you've got to watch on it, like graphic stuff and like sensitive stuff, and things that shouldn't be viewed by under 18s. So just watch out for that. And the last one probably we should touch on, I think that is probably most popular between the young people that we work with, Snapchat.
Oh, I love Snapchat.
Right,
Oh,
okay.
I
I
love
had it, and
I love
then I
all the
deleted it
photos.
when I was younger. I just thought it was really boring because people were just sending like black screens and texting, and I was like, can you not just text? Whereas I was like taking pictures of myself and drawing like masterpieces on
Aye.
that and taking
Well,
pictures.
there is maybe when you deleted it before, you can now message specifically on Snapchat
That's all
as
I have,
well. But I don't get the whole streaks thing. I don't get that. So like young people will be like, you need to get so many streaks and get so many like wee icons next to your name, and then it's another rating system.
Yep.
I've
High
got all
score
the
on them.
pals and all that. Or they go on their map and they're like, oh, look at this, and then they pure fly over to the other part of the world and they've got all these people popping up, and I'm like, how why do you have somebody from America
Yeah.
on like that knows your Snapchat, that sees your like specific location? Like I can see that you're at the UFA right now.
So
Or
that's the thing that I wanted to speak about. That's a major bad point of Snapchat. You can pinpoint exactly where someone is if they have a map on. I was
yeah,
taught that by a young person when I was working up at the school. We were doing like a Princess Trust thing, and we were doing social media pros and cons, and they says, well, that's not a good thing because people can find where you are whenever.
yeah,
And some GPS tracking kind of style things can be useful, but that's not until it gets to a serious
yeah.
incident that it can be useful. You don't need that to be on you every minute, every day.
I've heard of lots of young people having issues, like maybe in relationships,
Yeah.
about that being, well, why were you at that place when you said that you were in another place, or
Yeah.
why was such and such there and you were there and you were at the same place and he says that they weren't there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just really, I think it just promoting unhealthy like relationships and unhealthy kind of tracking.
Yep.
Like Big Brother's watching you kind of thing. I don't like that part of it.
I think with that app as well, a lot of young people will take more risks of what they're putting up because they think it's only on for a certain amount of time, don't they, on Snapchat? Well, when I was using it,
Definitely.
it's 10 seconds you were able to post, but people can screenshot, people can record that.
Aye, and how many young people have got multiple phones or multiple devices? Can
Yep.
take a picture from your iPad of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come up as screenshot.
Right.
It's there. It's been taken,
Mm-hmm.
and lots of young people are taking like kind of risky pictures or sending nudes on
Yep.
Snapchat, thinking that it's not there anymore. Like after, even if somebody doesn't screenshot it,
Yep.
it's still stored on Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you've not saved it, you've not sent it, and nobody screenshotted it,
Yep.
it's still stored there. There was a really interesting fact that we had. There was like a support group that had came in and they were chatting to us, and they had said that lots and lots of indecent images that are used and sold are from Snapchat.
Right. Okay.
How scary is that?
That is really scary, yep. And a lot of young people are being risky, not just with like graphic things like nudity or things like that. They're doing it with alcohol with their friends,
Yep.
substances like drugs and things like that, because they think it's only there for a short period of time. But like you said, anyone can take a photo of it and it can be there forever.
Or they because it's on their private story and it's not on like their main story as well. And they're like, oh, it's only those people. No, that's not the case.
Yeah. It's like telling a secret to someone, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I only told that person, but that person told them, and then it just
Mhm.
spreads like wildfire. So it's the same as a
And
post.
that person overheard it. And
Yep.
aye.
So I think that was quite important to cover that app as well. Is there any other social medias you think we should cover for young people, good or bad?
I think I saw a kind of funny video, and it was set 20 years in the future,
Right.
and it's like a grandson coming to his granddad going, oh, 2020, that was a hell of a year. I mean, all the global situation going on and like all this happening. How did you cope with it? And the guy starts just doing a TikTok dance. So I think it's probably worth mentioning that one. That's the hot product amongst young people in particular, including my daughter. She loves doing it. But yet again, the dangers are out there. You know, you have to be really vigilant with that, you know.
There's a lot of young people that use it, young people and children. So I know my nephew's got it and he's 7 years old, but I've seen some things on it that a 7-year-old shouldn't see on it or hear on it. There's like memes that people think is hilarious, but it's got like innuendos and they end up saying the wrong thing. There's songs on it that are would need parent consent, guardian consent, because they wouldn't be played in the radio because the words that are used in these songs, and these young people and children have access to them when they really shouldn't. But I quite like TikTok. I like scrolling through it. I'm not a big fan of making them because I'm rotten at making them and I can't dance.
No, but that's the best part of it.
No, but I've seen Chris and I can't match his dancing skills.
No one can. No one can. He is like MJ. Like I love TikTok. I love all the daft dances. I love all like the stupid like kind of like pranks that people do. Like see the compilations of like people scaring people on work and like shit jumping out in people and like the funny reactions. I love all that. Like I absolutely love it. But there's definitely a scary side of like what you were saying about the age and like what people are viewing and things like that. But there's also an element I think that people don't think about with any social media is that if you're taking a video or a picture, you all see my house.
Mm-hmm.
You can all see everything. If I turn that way, there's a picture of my niece and my nephew and things like that. So there's parts of my life that yous are now seeing.
Aye.
And
you invited us into your home at that point.
Definitely. So if you wouldn't invite a random into your house, why would you put it or be aware of what you're wearing during your TikToks? Like lots of young people are taking it in their pajamas or wearing like kind of provocative outfits.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're putting, and they're like, oh, I wouldn't want my ma to see that, or I wouldn't want my granny to see that. But you're putting it on TikTok, and your TikTok's no private, and you're letting everybody see it, but you don't want your ma to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. It's bizarre.
Aye. It's a crazy world. But as long as we can keep trying to educate young people, I think that's the main part of it, because we do it. You guys have done quite a few workshops down at the complex on it. And we're always trying to keep them. We're trying to keep ourselves up to date. To be honest, I'm still learning a lot of the social medias that are coming out and being like, what? How can you do that and that? And
I thought TikTok you first like it showed you the dance.
Mm-hmm.
You need to practice it and learn it, and then do it.
Aye.
I was like, I've been fooled.
Aye. But social media is great. Like there is so much good that can come from it, and there is so much good that has come from it in the past. But just watch out, and if you guys need any advice, any information on social medias, if it's parents, young people, children, just give us a shout and we'll try and get back to you, try and give you advice and tips on what we think or what we would teach at the complex to be what we think is right. And
on all social medias there is a report button. It's normally shaped like an eye, and then it's got like wee legs, as if it's like an eye on a tripod. That's a report button.
Yeah.
So you can get that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I think you need to go into your settings for it and things like that. But what we can do is on the youth complex social media, we can go in and do like a wee screen recording of how to make all your social media private, and what you should kind of keep a wee eye out for, or if there is anything on it that you want to report, how to report it and things like that. But again, if it's happening and you're unsure, send us a message.
Yeah.
We can talk you through it and guide you and help you. We're not here to judge. Like if somebody's sent an explicit image and you're like, oh my god, I don't want anybody to judge me for it. We're going to help you and support you and help you make informed decisions and how to support you through it, and hopefully it wouldn't happen again.
Brilliant. So that is our topic for this week covered. Any questions, again, any information you need, just hit us up on our social medias that have been mentioned at the start, and they'll be mentioned, hopefully put in the description as well. So the next part is where the belt wearing 5-time champion Chris Ritchie goes up against our guest this week. Oh, he's got it with him. I think he just wears it everywhere. You just wear that around the house.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing the kind of the positive feeling that you can get from wearing a championship belt in any walk of life.
Is there so much respect, like when you go to the shops and all that? Are people just like, that guy?
Absolutely.
That guy won the
Absolutely.
quiz.
That's it. That's
it. So we have got. I've looked up some questions for a social media quiz this week.
I think I might be relinquishing this championship this week, though.
This versus Kirsty.
I hope so. What was me and Bab's name again?
Abs.
Babs.
Abs and abs. Aye. So what are you alone then?
Abs, mate. Off.
Just abs.
Aye.
Okay.
There was cheating, I remember, as well, Lee, as well. So
I don't know if we can take this. If she does win, we'll just kind of go, oh, she was cheating again, right? So,
okay, that's fine. Right, great.
The hosts have got to stick together, Kirsty.
No.
I see this coming a mile away.
That's all right. Remember the pranks that we were talking about earlier, Lee?
Yeah. I'm kidding on, you can win. So, we asked the challenger if she would like to go first or second.
First, please.
Oh, right in there.
First, I'm a realist.
Okay. So, some of these answers, by the way, some of the answers aren't what you would think it was right away. That's what I'm going to say. Okay? You understand, right? That's what Question 1 goes to you, Kirsty, or Abs.
Right.
In which year did Facebook launch?
2004.
Wait, I'm not sure if research was allowed.
Mate, wasn't it in the T's and C's?
I think I'd like to see you rip that piece of paper up before we continue.
Does that count?
Rip it again.
Researching.
I want a steward's inquiry already. She just looked at a bit of paper there to give herself the answer.
That is known as cheating, I would say.
No, it's not. It's not. I found that knowledge. Right, so basically, it's previous knowledge. I previously got it today.
You didn't know it without looking at the paper.
That's sharp.
Right, okay. I think we've got another easy win for Chris here on the grounds of cheating.
No, that was
1-0. Okay. We'll see how it goes.
me. Yes.
Question 2, Chris. Which website calls itself the best online photo management and sharing application in the world?
Is it Flickr?
What do you think it was, Kirsty?
Insta.
Well, you were wrong. Chris was right. That's why he's champion. You're a cheater.
Even using Flickr?
1 each. Right, okay, Kirsty, you ready?
Yes.
What is the maximum number of characters you can use in a tweet?
36.
Can I jump in?
I'm going to ask her again, right?
I don't
136.
think so. I don't think so after the first question.
136.
Right, is that your answer? Because it's
Aye.
characters.
Aye, 136.
Right, okay. That's wrong.
Aye, thought so.
Chris, do you want to try and steal it?
Is it 170?
It's no, that's wrong as well. It's 280. They
Oh,
launched tweets where you could only use 140, and now they've doubled it to 280. So
All right. Okay.
that's so many. So one each. Chris, you can take the lead here. What was the largest social networking site in the world between 2005 and 2009?
I would say MySpace.
Facebook.
Chris, you've got it. You're 2-1 up. MySpace. Cheaters never win, Kirsty. The next question goes to you. You've got to get this to equalise. What was purchased by Facebook for $1 billion in 2012?
Instagram.
Correct. Quick answer as well, 2 each. Chris, are you ready?
Yep.
What word is used to describe someone that deliberately tries to offend others on social media?
That's just easy.
We'll maybe edit that part.
Sorry.
We're gonna have to edit the podcast again, Kirsty, because you're being such a troll.
Well done, well done. It's true. I don't know how that's going to look now post edit, but yep, 3-2 to Chris.
That was far too easy.
It's the way the questions go. You
Lies, absolute liar. You're a
Yeah.
liar and a stink bag.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Which website's CEO described his company as a catalogue of ideas that inspires users to go out and do that thing?
Pinterest?
Pinterest is correct. Good answer.
Yes.
Very quick as well. Well done. Question 8, Chris. Go 4-3 in the lead. Which city is the most geotagged city on Instagram?
New York.
Kirsty, what would you have said if you got that question?
Miami?
Miami. So you both went for an American city,
Yeah. LA?
LA. So you would have gave 2 answers. And none of them would have been right because it was New York. Well done, Chris. 4-3. 4-3 to Chris. You've got
Oh,
you've got to get this one, Kirsty. This is really important.
oh God, right, okay.
Quite tricky as well.
Is it going to be easy?
No, it's quite tricky. But it goes off the back of Chris's answer. So which place within New York City is the most geotagged? Take your time.
Ground Zero? No.
Take your time.
Broadway?
I'll give you a hint twice.
Oh, Times Square?
I don't think we count it though on the third answer. Well, that means Chris has won before he even has to answer his last
Oh, no. Oh,
So the belt sticks with him, right? But we'll just ask him this just for fun. So Google is the largest search engine on the internet. But what website is known as the second largest search engine?
Bing.
It's not Bing.
Does somebody else want to have a shot? I
Is
can
it-
try another one if you want, just because we're playing for fun. It's up to you.
Go for it. Just start
Uh,
shooting out.
Yahoo would be my
No.
other one. No? Okay. Kirsty?
Think outside the box with this one. So this website is seen as the second largest search engine because you search on it and results come up. And it's got lots and lots and lots of results. What website do a lot of people use every day that you would search in?
Facebook?
people should search The Milk Round episode 9.
YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yep.
That's interesting.
And
I've actually
YouTube,
seen
is that really a search engine? Never knew
well,
that.
it's seen as the second largest search engine because you search in it and there's so many results for every search you put in. So there we go. Chris is still the champion for another week. If you want to verse him, come on next week. Give us a wee message to come on the podcast. If you've got any topics or anything you think we should cover, give us a message on all our social medias. Please like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and ring the bell for notifications. And get us on all of our other social medias, which Chris is going to leave you with just now.
Facebook, we are Kelly Youth Complex staff. Twitter, Youth Complex CYC. Instagram, youth_complex. TikTok, Kelly Youth Complex. Our email, if you want to drop us a line, is cycyouthteam@gmail.com. And we also have our Podbean, which is themilkround.podbean.com, for some older episodes of our podcast in an audio-only format. So check them out.
Perfect. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for watching again. And thank you, Kirsty, for coming on and losing the quiz again. That's great. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.